just take on the questions on the chat, and I will answer each one of them after the session is over. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Um, Second share screen option is there. Yeah. Okay. I hope you can see my screen, right? I may not be able to see your responses. Sorry, is
Yes,
it
we can
visible?
see your screen now. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's
Thank
visible
you
now.
so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so hello everyone once again. We are going to discuss today that this is a part of a learning series that Global Skill Development Council is organizing, and I'm very happy to be a part of this series with the first one being done today. Now we are going to discuss that how we should design the guardrails for agentic AI from part to predictability, right? So, like for example, we know that AI is going to be a major part of our life going forward. There is no two way of saying things. At the same time, let us leverage the best of AI without being falling victim to it, right? So we will go one by one how to take care of it. This is a brief introduction of me, so I won't waste much of time. I'll go straight into the presentation because that is more important. Okay, in the next 60 minutes, I'm lagging, but I'll make up for the lost time. You will learn how organizations can unlock agentic AI without losing control, trust, or accountability. Now, let me set the premise that what is this session is not. It is not a coding talk. It is not a compliance checklist, not AI hype. I'm not going to hype any tool A or B. And what it is a strategic lens for leaders, architects, policymakers, and AI adopters across the board, and a shared language across business, technology, risk, and governance. I will, throughout the flow, I will try to draw analogies between the traditional software companies that we have, that is the traditional SaaS as we know them, and AI augmented or AI leveraged companies that we are going to transform into. So it is pretty much the same, very relatable and easy to assimilate and execute. Okay, so don't worry at all. It will be very easy for everyone to grab whatever knowledge you want to take away from this particular session. And towards the end of it, I'll take care of all the questions that you have on mind before end of today. Yeah. Okay, so typically, like for example, what we have seen is that we have taught machines to act. We forgot to teach them when to stop. Because, say, for example, I'll give very simple example. I am doing something on the laptop, and I have put something on my gas oven. For say, for example, I'm boiling tea and I forget it, right? So it is a machine. It was made to help me, right? But after a while I see that there is some burning smell, and I have to rush to the kitchen and to find out that, oh my god, it's all burning and there is a mess, right? AI or any tool that has been invented since the stone age was always created to help humans and mankind, but it's how we use it or how we save ourselves from the abuse of it, right? So if you switch on, like for example, when we leave our houses, if we forget to switch off the lights, we lose on power. If we forget to switch off the geyser, then it may cause an accident, and so on and so forth. Same is the case with AI. It is no different, right? So now in the agentic AI phase, AI is no longer advising humans, right? It is acting on their behalf. We are creating agents or bots which are doing, we are feeding them with the kind of work or actions through reinforced learning, and asking them to do work on our behalf, right? So here comes the tricky phase. Now I have put a hashtag, that HILT. It is going to be a very important thing in the coming years and decades, probably. Human in the loop, that whatever happens with AI or around AI, humans has to be there. There is no two ways of looking at that, right? Okay, so we will go into the phases that we have come across. The era. First, we had this automation. Everybody was doing automation, like heavy Excel sheets getting automated. same mundane processes getting automated. This all happened in the last 20 years of whatever I have seen from my eyes um, uh, during my phase as an employee of different software organizations, is that automation was the buzzword. Right now AI is the buzzword. That time automation was the buzzword. It was very important to know when not to use automation. It is like, if there is a buzzword from in the organizational structure, right from the leadership to the intern or the fresher, everybody rushes through the buzzword. It is very important to stop, take a step back, and understand why am I doing whatever I am doing, right? So as people who are coming from the technical background, or taking science as our base of reference, we should always keep questioning the status quo through the prominent question why, right? So first it was automation, which was like executing tasks, mundane tasks, batch jobs and so on, that the risk profile was low. Something crashes, you took a step back and then you start all over again, right? Then starts augmentation. Augmentation means I suggest, take suggestions. Like for example, I use a tool, whatever. Whether you take the top three primaries like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Grok, and then you take suggestions from them, and it's a medium thing. You choose, you throw away, fine. But when it comes to agentic AI, you have created a bot or an agent for yourself who does the same job in your absence. And there comes the thing. Even if you are not monitoring it, it is going to do the job at a scheduled time. And that's where comes the thing, that whatever you're instructing, that should be accommodating the risk management factor, that what can happen if something goes wrong in the absence that the human is not there. As I said, the human in the loop. Now, going to the next one, what is the agentic AI stack? And simple layman terms, nothing technical. Agentic AI means first it will be perception, then reasoning, then memory, then action and feedback. It's a loop. So, and feedback means that whether it's working or not, feedback loop is always there in all segments of software development and execution. But it starts from the level of perception, like you kind of do a like check of the previous data and so on, do the reasoning part of it, break it down, load it into the memory, execute it into action, and then take a feedback out of it. Traditional AI, whatever we are doing this kind of nano bananas and creating pictures, creating tools, and so on and so forth, they are just stopping at reasoning. Like they are giving you, they are crawling through all the web, bringing in multiple reference data, and then giving you a kind of structured input so that you have to not flip into multiple pages of Google, and then stop at reasoning. But agentic AI crosses into action, because now you have created a bot who is going to not impersonate, but then it is going to take action on your behalf. So there comes the responsibility part of it. What responsibilities are you handing over to the agentic AI? Okay. Now, if we go to the next one, now, why traditional controls fail in agent? Why, when we are deploying agentic AI, what is the basic difference that we should take care of, and why traditional controls will fail here? Because just hold on for a second. Let me go into the PPT mode. Yeah. So, I think the screen should be bigger for each one of you. So now what will happen is that traditional controls assume that human is always there on the loop. I go to a software firm, I work from 10 to 5. I'm always there in front of the system. I take some breaks, I take some leaves sometimes, I do some meetings, and that's how my day is typically done. Then comes the static rules. Like for example, I have certain rules that, okay, you know what, I have to swipe in the card, then there has to be some information security check, then there has to be certain data which I have to take care of, and so on and so forth, and that's how it goes on, right? But okay, so but and it is within predictable environments, because I have to take the bus, I have to go to the office, and so on and so forth. It's all structured. But when agentic systems introduces that dynamic goals, like for example, say for example, earlier we used to have this. First of all, there was this waterfall, then there was this agile, all kinds of frameworks of software delivery. But with this agentic systems getting introduced, there are a couple of things which are going to change. First of all, the capacity and availability. Say for example, I am there in office from 10 to 5. After that, I am off. But an agentic AI can be deployed during the off work hours, even in my absence, or even if I'm on leave, the bot or the agent may not take a leave. And then say for example there is no emotional involvement, like for example the agent DKY won't have any mood swings, they won't have any sort of like friction with another co-worker, right? So it will be like very much like emotionless and like very precise in terms of a machine doing the work what you have instructed it to do. So the dynamic goals will be there, because right now, say for example a project was there for 6 months, I have deployed a bot. So in, I mean, my effort I have calculated for 6 months. Now if I have a bot with myself, obviously, and it is working 24/7, if I kind of schedule it that way, which means that the work will reduce substantially, maybe half, 3 months, right? So if I give a kind of proposal to the company, or the client, that you know what, I need this work for 6 months, this is my billing, this is my remuneration and commercials and so on. With the traditional format of software delivery, the same client will come back and question that why so, because the timelines have changed, the work is getting very fast, the delivery is like optimized or rather speeded up, and then there are why do you ask for so much money, it should reduce by half. So there is the cost factor which is going to impact as part of the dynamic goals. So that, which means that the end goal is going to change, it will prepone itself, right, from the standard expected deadline. Then there is the tool access, whatever tools you are going to leverage, this bot is going to do on your behalf. Say for example I'm using a PPT, I'm using an Excel, I'm using an email, Outlook, whatever it is. Now the bot will have access to it on my behalf. And then self-sequencing actions, because I have to instruct the bot for once that you know what, after you do the like drill down on the data sheet on your Excel, you just put it on your PPT, and then you just attach it to your mail, send it to so and so recipients, and don't send it to so and so, I mean, like that. So once it is done, that means it will now kind of do it as a repetition until you ask to stop. Because as we started, that we have asked the system to start, now we have to instruct when to stop. Now, as a result, controls designed for tools fail when AI becomes a co-worker, because you're not controlling it all the time. Say, for example, if I have a human intern or a human co-worker or a human junior to myself or a teammate, I can say, you know what, this particular, you're not doing it in a right way. Let's reorganize and then do it in another way. Try it in another way. But when you have deployed a bot, you have instructed once. That means either you are deploying when you are deploying the bot or creating the agentic AI. So in that case, you are instructing with such a vision that you don't need multiple interruptions to tell you, oh no 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 no, stop stop stop, it is not the right way. No, because now it has to be sequenced in such a way that you can leave it to itself. It runs on its own while you do the other work, which requires more attention or at a higher level, which kind of needs deeper research and so on. But this particular agentic AI or the bot has to be instructed in such a way that you don't need to interrupt or don't use your manpower to advise that person. Otherwise, what's the point of creating the bot, right? So if we just draw a loose analogy, it is the same thing. Why create automation if you have to intervene each time, right? So yeah, that's how it is. So controls designed for tools fail when AI becomes a co-worker. And how? That will go here. So there is a the real risk is not malice, like agentic AI which I have created, or say for example a person, a human being has created. It was created all in good faith. It was not created to bounce back or create malice against myself or humankind at large. So the hype, or rather the negative hype that is going on, that you know what, this particular thing is going to take away jobs, can go wild and so on and so forth, not really. There is a thin line between it. We have to understand how to control it. And again, this is not a traditional software, so we have to tweak our methods to control it. Now, global misconception, as we know it, is that AI risk equal to AI turning evil. No. Say for example, when you many people who are, I believe there is a mix of crowd from the college, from the industry and so on and so forth. So I'll make it very easy for all of you. Whenever you start a project, there has to be a project roadmap, there has to be software implications, whatever tools you are using, there has to be definition of that, there is known as software requirement documentation that we have. Then there has to be a kind of escalation matrix, like rules and governance, like and then there has to be the deadline, the roadmap, and everything, a structured project document. Now the same thing applies to AI or agentic AI. Say for example, if my DevOps pipeline is not ready, then even a traditional software cannot be deployed because there will be environmental issues and there will be ruptures. So in that case, whether an agentic AI or a traditional software, both of them will fail. But we have a kind of bias developed due to certain environmental conditions around us, that you know what, AI is evil. No, our planning and pre-planning of the software development or structuring the project has gaps. Now, AI or any kind of automation actually grabs the gap faster and fails because it speeds up the process. The moment it enters a roadblock, it will fail, it will crash. That's how it gives us the impression that you know what, it's failing fast. Yes, I would have also failed had I moved in the traditional method because my method was wrong already in the premise. Only thing is that the AI and the automation flags it faster because of the mechanized way that it is developed, right? Then over optimization, like for example, as I start saying, automation for the automation's sake, AI for the AI sake. No. First, you have to understand when you are designing a project and whenever you're deploying something or using it in any domain, starting from say banking, so say healthcare to anything whatsoever. Say for example, there is a say for example brain surgery or heart surgery, and every patient is unique, every patient has a typical symptom different from the other. So you cannot deploy a bot and just go away from the operation theater thinking, oh my god, the bot will do the needful, the robots will do the thing, I will just come and pack it up and then charge a fee. No, never, because that's a high critical job in which agentic AI has to be very precise on what needs to be done because every prescription, every patient is different. So how can a simple AI be designed in such a way? You know what? I do this. The bot is designed for once, and you run the. I mean, it will create a havoc. The patient might. I mean, a patient who could have recovered might die on the operation table itself, right? So we have to figure out that over optimization for the sake of it is no, a big no, right? And then there is a silent drift when we are not creating the awareness and then switching towards it. I mean, the awareness is not there, so half of the crowd will feel that you know what, we are left out, then there might be some evil around it. Half of the crowd will feel that you know what, we were never a part of the process, so there will be pushbacks. So the silent drift cannot be there. We have to take care of everyone as we go along. And then there is context blindness, as I keep on mentioning that. Why are we doing whatever we are doing? What is the context behind it? What are we deploying and why? So that needs to be always there when we talk about it. Otherwise, whether it's traditional software or AI or agentic AI, it will fail. And I mean, it is built for doom, right? And most AI failures are not dramatic; they are quietly expensive. As we know in typical software, the testing part of it is actually validates or verifies the end goal, whether we have reached there or not, right? Same is the case with agentic AI. If we kind of create the environment which is optimized before we deploy the agentic AI, then the chances of failing is less. Otherwise, if we do not care about building the like environment, optimizing the background and so on, optimizing the software layers, then in that case it will fail, and that will cost us heavily because we lose on time, we lose on money, and then of course the project itself is a failure, right? So it actually impacts the cost and the reputation both. And of course the risk factor is obviously there, right? Okay, now going on to the next one. Just hold on a second. Yeah. Now, what I've done is that I have broken down the guardrail framework into a five-layer guardrail model. We'll go one by one. Now, first it is the intent. What is the AI
Sorry
allowed?
to bother Pritam, but can you make the screen full screen again
Yeah, yeah,
of
sure,
the
I can.
PPT?
Okay, okay, okay. And please let me know because I cannot, when I'm making it full screen, I cannot see the audience. So please help me with anyone who is not being
Yeah,
able to
I
see
will
audio.
keep you updated if any questions are there in the chat box.
Right. So I hope everyone can see it now.
Yes.
Okay. So the guardrail framework, what the intent guardrails first. Now, what is the AI allowed to want, right? So, say for example, you give the kind of instructions. Guardrails are nothing but boundaries that you can work within this boundary and not beyond. So we are the persons who are going to define what are the boundaries that we are supposed to take care of, right? So the explicit goal boundaries, that is always there as part of any project, any development, whether timelines, budget, whatever is there, the explicit goal boundaries are always there. The start date, the end date, whatever, how many people are going to get deployed and so on, is done in a traditional software. In agentic AI, we are going to do the same thing for the bot, to define what are the goal boundaries for it, what are the forbidden objectives that the agentic AI shouldn't cross over, and value constraints, that it should always take care of safety, fairness, and legality. Because again, any software that you develop has to abide by the law of the land in the whichever geography you're working for. So value constraints has to be there. And say for example, a supply chain agent optimized for speed but must not bypass labor or safety standards, because the say for we know how supply chain works, right, from the manufacturing hub to the delivery part of it, from sourcing the materials to creating the final product, and then shipping out to the customer or the end client and user. So in that case, just for the sake of optimizing the speed, should not bypass the labors or safety standards. Just like the human in the loop, the approvals should be there by some human approver or auditor, and it should comply with the safety standards. That should be the golden rule, as it has been all the way. There is no second thought about it, right? If you don't define intent, the AI will, because now the AI, agentic AI is a decision maker as well. It can work on its own. So if you don't define the intent at the very beginning of the premise, the AI will do it on its own. It may go rogue, right? So you have to take care of that. Next, the decision guardrails. How does the AI decide? So again, the decision what needs to be fed, again, needs to be fed from us. What are the confidence thresholds? When should the AI revert back to me? Like for example, when the feedback loop should come back to the human. What are the human escalation points? As we used to do in traditional software, the same thing, the RACI matrix, the governance matrix, who is going to be responsible, accountable, informed, and like complied. I don't remember the C part of it, but then the RACI matrix, the governance matrix, has to be the same for the AI, so that it doesn't jump the gun, it doesn't prove rogue, and it doesn't act in contrary to what we had designed it for. So human escalation checkpoints, RACI matrix has to be the same as it has to be in the traditional software. Again, in terms of the bot that we have created, we have to feed in all those things as a premise. Explainability requirements, like for example, wherever there is a kind of loop change, any software, any traditional coding that we have done always contains conditional loops. That is how the ifs and buts, ifs and else's work, right? So in that case, the explainability requirements has to be also defined, that when the bot should act as to what it is expected to do, when, how, why, it all has to be defined and pre-fed into the bot, uh, and clearly mentioned, so that it doesn't go rogue or go contrary to our expectations. And autonomy should be earned and never assumed. So we are not going to leave it to itself. We are going to we are going to define it from the very beginning. Next, action guardrails. So what actions can the AI execute? Now comes the boundaries. Like for example, which boundary the AI can operate in, and when it should not cross the line. Tool permissions, what all tools it is using. So it has to be clearly defined, right? So again, there has to be a clear document in which we are documenting whatever we are allowing the agentic AI to do, and then it should be limited to that only, and the governance should lie with humans, in which again the spend limits should be there. Like whenever you are a project manager, the budget is there with you. Now if a agentic AI or a bot becomes a kind of manager, or kind of impersonates a manager, then the budget is with them. So spend limits should be there, whether it is resources, whether it is power, whether it's budget, whatever it is there. As a human used to do, the bot has to be clearly defined what it needs to do. Time and geography constraints, as we are right now connected across the globe, which means that the time and geography constraints has to be also fed into the bot, so that it doesn't work on its own whims and fancies. Okay. And lastly, just as interns, on a lighter note, just as interns don't get signing authority, agents should neither. Agent shouldn't either, right? So yeah. Audit and memory guardrails, very very important part. Can we reconstruct why something happened? Because what happens is, in any traditional software, whatever you do or any incident that happens, it's very important to do a simulation of the same incident and put it in the learning platform that we have. I mean, in the times that I have worked, we used to have it on Confluence. It is part of though I mean, I'm not promoting any project management tool here. It's part of the Atlassian Jira. And then there are ServiceNow and other tools as well, project management tools, in which you have a Confluence kind of thing or a knowledge sharing portal where you simulate the things and understand why it happened, how it happened. So whether the bot is able to do that. Immutable logs, the log shouldn't be deleted. Every incident has a log in traditional software, so is the case with agentic. There is no difference. Decision trails, why it happened, how the loop went on, and how did you reach there, why did the failure occur. So those things should be recorded, and there should be some platform where it gets reflected. And version memory, version control, like we have in traditional SaaS, we should have it for agentic AI. There is no difference between, again, as I keep on saying, that there is no major drift here. We have to just train the bot to operate like a human, and then guard it with our human guardrails. And if it cannot be audited, it cannot be trusted. That's a simple thumb rule, right? So yeah. Business and societal implications. Without guardrails, what can happen is that regulatory exposure, your company can be banned from a particular company, from a particular geography. Brand risk, the reputation is lost, the share prices go down, and your company can wrap up. Hidden financial losses, that the company is burning a lot of resources inside and you don't even know, right? With guardrails, as we know, I mean, whether a human or a bot, with guardrails, it's a scalable autonomy. Every person in a team, the project manager is there, the project leader is there, the seniors are there, but then the team members are also operating on their individual skills and capabilities. So scalable autonomy is always there. Same is the case with bots. What's the difference? Then faster decision cycles, like for example, what happens in traditional software is that there are certain bureaucratic layers. Agentic AI can speeden up the process. Again, the rules and boundaries should be defined at every step so that it doesn't jump the gun. And board level confidence with guard level. I mean, those who are seniors in this particular session would know that any project approvals has to have come from the change advisory board, project management office, and so on and so forth. Without that, nothing moves an inch. And then there is this project sponsor. So board level confidence is always there when you are giving a clear reporting of whatever is happening, and with proper guidelines and compliances. Same goes for the agentic AI that is supposed to be developed for the work that the human was supposed to do. So guardrails typically, as we keep on saying, the delivery excellence team that we have in traditional software and so on and so forth, they feel, the companies traditionally feel that they are impacted delivery. No, they don't slow it down. They just let it scale safely. So let us be a one team. It's not a versus game, right? So even if the AI is there, it's not AI versus human. It's AI helping human with human guardrails and human in the loop. And guardrail 5, kill switch and recovery. Can we stop it instantly and safely? That's the biggest part of it. Say for example, there is my computer hangs for a while, right, and I am not being able to operate. The last thing that we do is that just hard reboot, right? When you think of things like a nuclear reactor, or say for example something happening in the shipping oceans and so on, in those cases, if a bot goes rogue, then you have to have a kill switch and recovery very fast, at the knock of a button, and the human should be there in the loop to do the needful, right? So real-time override, graceful degradation, and rollback mechanisms should be in place so that the human can operate, and then the bot can be stopped from behaving rogue and going overboard, right? A system you cannot stop is not intelligent, it's irresponsible, and it can create havoc and disasters. As I mentioned, think of the oceans and think of the nuclear reactors, or even think about the operation theater of a human being under under the guidance of a surgeon, right? So yeah, that brings us, I mean, I just wanted to have a quick walkthrough across this session. And I think in the interest of time, I have just whizzed past a few things. I will be open to taking questions here on. Over to you, Gauri.
Thank you so much, Pritam. So, yes, we already have one question here right now. And Rutvik is saying, when you say feed in guardrails, where does one do it in the agnetic AI? Is in the
Come again? Could you kindly repeat the question?
Yes, so it says when you say feed in guardrails, where does one do it in the agnetic AI? Is it in the prompt?
Yeah, of course. In the prompt itself, and also say for example, when you are creating the bot, the prompt is the first thing that we need to create as part of creating any sort of agents or bots, right? First thing is, um, uh, we are defining the guardrails in the prompt layer, so that the and it is fed into the bot that we are creating, because ultimately a bot is going to operate as per the instructions. So yeah, but in the sense that when we are developing the agent, in that case, once it is done, because every time we are not going to write the prompt, so we have to be very sure of what we are doing in terms of putting the feeds in the prompts that we create. Yep.
Thank you so much for that answer, Pritam. And there is also existing question in the same question, and if in the prompt, how do we secure the agent or agnetic agent from the prompt injection issue? What do you mean by graceful degradation?
Okay. So this might be a little bit technical for the larger audience, but I'll make it simpler. See, to make anything work, because any AI is going to work on the data that is available, mostly in the predictive format. So we have to check the data source and the data integrity so that it's clean, because garbage in, garbage out. So in that case, we have to be very clear about what we are going to develop in the bot, or rather, when we do the reinforced learning for the bot that we are developing, we need to first train it on some clean data. And we need to also, I was just reading the other day, or rather a couple of months back, SEMrush published that a lot of data is being fetched from things like Reddit, Wikipedia, and so on and so forth. They are not reliable data, right? I mean, I can go and make some edits in the editable format on any like Coda or a Reddit or a Wikipedia, but that is not reliable. We have to create, we have to have that data source which is reliable, which is there, vetted and verified from some reliable data sources. And then that should be the premise when we set the models, before we set it into action. So data quality and data integrity has to be clearly defined. I mean, that was always the case with SaaS. Now it is going to be even more important. Taking care of the cybersecurity, phishing issues, and so on and so forth. All things. I mean, now the issue of data, or the quality of data, is important like never before. Am I audible?
And thank you so much for that answer. And Gagandeep asked, is API keys are safe? We are allowing login access to AI.
Very good question. I was just studying the other day. When you are doing in a kind of sandbox environment or personal level, you can do any API keys, plug in this and that, do in any sort of playground that you have. When you are working in an organization, every organization has a compliance standard. So there is a huge risk that these, again, this is a kind of transactional method that is going on. When we are using any sort of AI tool to leverage or create a kind of agent for ourselves, that AI also takes feeds from us, or kinds of gets access. I mean, when you say okay to certain tool, it also takes access of many of your things in your system. So it's very important to check that you are not exposing the organizational data even by mistake, because that's a trick that will happen as a kind of transaction. Because like you are leveraging the AI company, the AI company also needs to get some data for the future use, right? So if you are using Nano Banana, it takes my picture, so it creates a model. Okay, fine, Pritam looks like this. I can create this. So this creates a trend. going forward, I can create a movie or something like that with the simulation of Pritam's face morphed in some manner or the other. So essentially, when you are in an organization and environment, it should always stick to the compliance standards of the organization and the law of the land, both.
Thank you so much for that answer, Pritam. And we have one more question here that says, will people design code, guardrails programmatically? If so, are there any ready-made tools? Will it be a profession on its own, like traditional quality assurance?
I have to get this question once again. Could you kindly repeat yourself? Gauri, kindly repeat the question.
Yes, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Please. I've lost track. I mean, it was quite a long question. I'm trying to scroll it myself, but please go on.
Yeah, will people design?
Okay,
Will people
I saw that. I
design
saw that. I
guardrails?
saw. I
Yeah.
saw that. Will people design code,
Okay.
design a code guardrails programmatically? If so, there are made tools. Okay, Madhusudan, the thing is very simple. Whether you are using traditional software or with humans or agentic AI with human in the loop, the very question of creating a product and project has to be within the dimension of what, how, and why, the golden circle as we call. So whether you're using a tool makes your work faster. That's the only thing, nothing else. So whether it's a tool, traditional software tool, or an agentic AI, whichever way you use, you have to know the end goal, what you want. So for that, the guardrails has to come from your mind, how to kind of create the boundary as to this is the area of work that you do, and this is where you cannot cross the line, right? So in that case, will it be a profession on its own like traditional quality assurance? Of course it will be. The auditors are there. I was just having a session the other day. Somebody told me the current, I mean, I shouldn't say this, but again, people may have some similar auditing platforms, but one of the most well known is ISO 27001. That's for the auditing part of it. So auditing, testing, quality assurance will always be there. It cannot be thrown out of the window. It has to be an integral part of the entire process of project development. So whether you and then there comes the human mindset as to what you're allowing the agentic AI to do, and how, where are you saying stop.
Thank you so much for that answer, Pitam. I hope it answered Madhu Sudhana's question. And yes, she says she has got it. So I guess, yeah, if we have any more questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat box. And I have also shared Pitam's LinkedIn, so you can connect with him anytime you want in case you have any questions. And I'm sure he will be more than happy to guide you further. And yes, I guess like that was it for the questions for today. And yeah, so Pitam, would you like to make any final statement about your overall experience with on this series,
Okay.
and any message that you would like to leave with us?
Overall experience, I would leave people to search it from LinkedIn. That's for their part. What I would suggest is that don't fear AI. Try to leverage AI, get the best out of it without getting sucked into it or without getting consumed into it. Till the time the human in the loop, HILT, is there, and you can have that consciousness that, you know what, I have to know when to start, when to stop, what are the boundaries, we are safe. Remember the three extremes: nuclear reactor, oceans, and a person on the surgery table. That would suffice. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Peter, for that insightful session. And yeah, we look forward to hosting you again. And as I told everyone that like I have already shared Pitam's LinkedIn in the chat box, so please feel free to connect with him. And yes, before I go, I would like to make few of the announcements. So please stay tuned. And allow me a minute as I share my screen. I hope my screen is visible enough. And if you would like to opt for the certifications, you can use the code AI20 and visit our website, because all the participants who join this session today, they are getting 20% discounts for it. So make sure you're making the most of the opportunity. And the GSDC has also launched a utility tool that comes with the 100% offer for all the webinar attendees who join today's session. And it will also help you open doors to the global opportunities and validate what you know and strengthen your professional presence. So I'm sharing more details about the utility tool in the chat box. And yes, we also have ISO series going on this week. So it's starting just right now for today. So make sure if you're interested in ISO, then be a part of it. And followed by learning and development series as well, that is going on for this week with this amazing panel of experts that we have. And yes, like we are also like recently launched the new series related to the geo. So if you would like to be a part of that, that as well, it could be nice opportunity to explore it as well. And we would like to celebrate the referral champions for today: Leela, Venkata, Satish, Saroj, and Doda. So if you would like to be a part of leaderboard championship and earn vouchers worth $400, all you have to do is visit the website and invite your colleagues and your communities to one of the series. And as soon as you start to climb up the leaderboard, and once you get on the top three, you get the vouchers for $400 from GSDC. If you would like to join us in one of our learning capsules, webinars, or podcasts, you can reach out to me on gauri@gsdccouncil.org or pritam@gsdccouncil.org, and we will be happy to get you started from there. Lastly, we would love to connect with you, so make sure you're following us on LinkedIn, visit our website for more details, join exclusive WhatsApp group, which keeps you updated about all the sessions that are aligned. And if you could kindly share your session takeaways on Trustpilot, it would definitely mean much to us. So thank you so much. With this, we're coming to an end for today's session. I will be seeing you in tomorrow's session.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.